I worked with Andrew last summer, and it was an amazing experience. I'm actually sitting here thinking about how much has changed since I connected with Andrew. And I was in a lot of pain. I was working with a coach who does work with Andrew, and she referred me to Andrew for a Gene Keys reading. And I wanted to talk with Andrew about what I felt was my greatest mystery and pain point, which was the purpose of my life. What was I to do? I felt really stuck and didn't know which way I was to contribute, and I feel a real yearning to have an impact, to help wake people up, to help heal humanity. And Andrew asked me very simply before the session, what would you like to focus on? And I told him that, and then right before the session I said, and also my relationships with my husband and daughter. There's a lot of tension and challenge in those relationships. And he said, that was my first experience of him. He could tune in right away that was really what we needed to focus on, and what was the issue of most urgency for growth in my life. And during the call with him, I was really impressed right away with how he tuned into me immediately. And he just could see through anything that I thought I needed to be focused on, or a lot of it was pattern driven. This urge to be productive, this urge to have meaning and purpose in kind of an ego-driven way. And he immediately tuned into my relationships and said, "This is the area of healing." And it was not what I wanted to hear, and it was so right. I could feel it right away. This was the area of healing. It was a huge pain point in my life, and my relationships were really falling apart. There was a lot of tension, and I was just completely marred by family patterns. I was owned by circular patterns from my childhood that were interrupting harmony and love and flow in my relationships. And so during that session, Andrew did a reading for me and just tuned into me, so both a Gene Keys reading and just tuned into where I was at. And there were so many moments during the call, and it was an hour and a half that we spent together on this first call, where he just tuned in and told me this is what I needed to heal. Were my childhood patterns surrounding my mother and father that were getting in the way of my relationships, and I needed to tune into the tenderness that I wanted to feel from others and give that tenderness. And it was profound, and honestly, the next months of my life were completely, before I even saw that coming, were completely driven by healing in this area. I had a very profound experience with my daughter getting very sick, and I had to hit a really dark bottom and dark night of the soul around my relationships, and everything Andrew had said almost became like a prophecy. And so my husband then did a session with him early in this year, and then we did a session as a couple. And we've just done those 2 sessions with Andrew, and I will say a singular time with Andrew, just one single 1.5 hour call, and each case was catalytic and transformative. And there didn't feel a need for another call because all the truth was said, all the instructions were laid out. And the same for my relationship. Andrew, right away, he had done individual sessions with both of us. He tuned into us so deeply and could see where we were at and what was getting in the way of our intimacy and our relationship. And honestly, in both cases, myself, my relationship with my daughter and my husband, they're miraculous now. I mean, all those patterns have been cleared. There's so much love, and we are all, I am in the same way. I am coming into my own voice, my own purpose, without efforting at it, by making those clearings. It's tremendous. I mean, working with Andrew, he's so deeply intuitive, empathic, loving. He can see you right away, and he has a very clear sense of an individual's path, the soul's path, and what that purpose is. I was looking for purpose in this very kind of egoic way of what's the work I am to do in the world, and instead he said, your purpose now is healing your relationships. And that has been, I couldn't have known that was exactly what was in front of me to unfold deeper into my own truth, my own purpose here. So I'm eternally grateful to Andrew and highly recommend a session with him to get clear on your own purpose and clear you of blockages that you may not even know or may not be willing to see.